go, guys.
I got my money up.
Holy fucking smokes, I got my money up.
No handshake on the.
No handshake. What's up, baby? We are in fucking Los Angeles, California. You know what it is, baby. It's the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ, as it says it on the banner, and that man, the man, Manny Ruffin.
You already know what's cracking over here, boys.
As always, fellas, powered by Dimers. I will get to that man that's sitting right next to me. If you guys don't know who that is, because you probably never seen what he actually looks like. But I will get to him in a minute. We're gonna do. What are we gonna do? What do we say? BetMGM is
Old Faithful,
if you want
baby.
Old Faithful. If you want to support the show, www.dimers.com/ADED to directly support the show as we're out here in Los Angeles, California. It is bet $20 and you get $100 in free bets. I mean, that's a great deal. And like I said on this reaction show, for sportsbooks where injuries happen in football all the time, if those guys get out and you bet on Derrick Henry MVP, Derrick Henry leader in rushing yards, this is a book that literally comped you free bets if you took those bets. So that's a great, old reliable as you call it. It's a great book to get on there. And if you want to directly support the show, head over to www.dimers.com/ADED and get yourself on those sports books to help us out. So anyway, we got a relatively shorter show today. We're sitting on a balcony. First outdoor show. We didn't
First
think
of all,
we were
yeah,
gonna do
like where
this.
the fuck are we?
We didn't think we were
Can
going to
just
do
go
this,
over
by the way.
Like,
We're
where
sitting
are
on a
we?
balcony.
What are we doing?
One of our good buddies that we grew up with is hosting us this week, and he's actually sitting
Shout out
behind the
Josh.
scenes watching this. Shout out Josh. So this is like super cool that we're able to do this. The sun is going down, but we're here. Tyler McGee. For all of you that don't know who the fuck this is, we say this all the time, but this is the guy that makes all of this happen, okay? The only reason that we are where we are today is because of this man, and he doesn't like to accept that fact. That's the only reason why we are here. He's the one that edits all this stuff together. The Auburn video that you guys hopefully have already seen. If not, check it out on the YouTube. That was all him. We're just there on camera being idiots, and he has to do the hard stuff to actually put it all
watch
together.
these guys be idiots on camera.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
baby. So what's up, man? Thanks for coming out. I know it's like an hour and a half from you, but I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir, bro. This is a long time coming, honestly.
For sure. Too
We
long.
talked about this for a minute. I remember literally going back to like one of the first Tea Party
Yep.
videos that we ever did. It was like, all right, you got to come out to Philadelphia. I was
Yep.
like, oh, bro, like one day, and we almost thought we were gonna have it during like a week 8 reaction.
Yeah.
We are that's still in the works, but
Yep.
damn, it's weird to see you guys
Fucking
here.
long
I know
time
because
coming, bro.
I fucking love
we were
it,
talking
dude.
to Josh, and he was like, right before we saw you, and he was like, so have you like ever seen him in person? And I was
Nope.
like, no, no. But like it's just all over like FaceTime, like that's how we communicate. So for people that say you can't like get work done like throughout COVID
Fucking
and over
lying.
like an internet scene as like the planes are going over top
Different
of us,
time
that's how you do it.
zones.
Okay.
We've done
different
different
time
time
zones is rough,
zones,
too.
graveyard shifts.
Oh
like,
yeah,
fucking
he's
kids,
still
bro.
doing the grave shot.
Still, I had a graveyard shift today, bro.
Shit,
Graveyard
you're doing a
shift today.
podcast. No excuses, boys. No
All right,
fucking
Manny. So
excuses.
tell us what we're doing today. I already said it was like relatively
All right,
shorter.
so
but
today
let's
it's
get
kind of
into
like a jam-packed show. We're going to start off. We're going to give our... Well, actually, I have a question for Tyler, and Alex has a question for Tyler as well. Then we're going to get into our biggest letdowns and surprises so far in this NFL season. And then we're going to get into a little debate because we have a little bit of a disagreement going on who's the number one player in the world right now in the NBA. I'm going to kind of open the question and have them try to convince me who they think it is. I think I'm going to be against the public here. I don't know. I'm interested to see, but let's get into it.
All right, so I'll start with my question for Tyler. All right, so I kind of did ask you this like off camera, but I wanted just to talk like, obviously like the three of us that are here. I know Josh is behind the scenes, but we didn't grow up here. We kind of had all 4 seasons, so I don't know. Like, is it weird for you that like I've been here for what 5-6 hours, and it feels like summer, and we're about to hit December. So like, is it weird at all that you just grew up as a kid, and now you're in your early 20s and you've never really had 4 seasons, it's always summertime here? Like, I know Josh has like gone to school here for like 4 or 5 years, and he's just like, yeah, this is kind of weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I've been to school here, and I want to go back to the snow at home. So is that weird for you, or is it just like?
I mean,
I
not
like the summer.
really. I grew up here, so like this is what I'm used to. I feel like it used to rain a lot more. We just had droughts here in LA for
That is true.
forever now. Like we haven't
about
had
the
rain in
fucking
a minute,
fires?
dude. Yeah, fires, bro. We're
You
technically
can see
still
the
with
smog
fireworks.
behind us, bro.
Just about a week ago, bro, we had like the red flag warnings because I work at ABC News. That's what they call it.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, sir.
But we had that red flag warnings about possible fires. It gets windy as hell. No rain, bro. It's weird. I mean, I'm used to this kind of weather now, so it's not like, oh my gosh. Like if I were to go to Philadelphia right now, I'd be like, dude,
You'd be
fucking freezing
freezing
out
your
here.
ass
Yeah.
off.
Like it gets to like low 50s here. I'm like, damn, I need to get a little couple. I need to start laying one up, bro.
Jackets and shit, like everyone, bro. It's like it's the norm here. So like my question for you, like, I guess it's kind of, it might sound like a broken record, but like, what makes someone want to be more behind the scenes than kind of on the camera? Like, I've never thought like I would love to be a video editor for X YouTube channel that's big as shit. Like, I'm like, I want to be the guy. Like, what makes you? What about you? Like, is it a personality trait? Have you always been like that? Like, is it kind of like, is it selfless, or is it like you'd rather just kind of be the star behind the curtain? Like, what kind of makes you kind of get into editing and not being the star?
You know what's crazy actually is when I first started, I wanted to be on camera. I wanted to be a personality. I wanted to be behind the mic. Like that was the goal. I wanted to be like, oh dude, I'm gonna be like the voice of the Lakers type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But honestly, as time went on, I started to do more like production side of things, and video editing honestly wasn't my number one thing. That's never been my
Was that one?
main
Like, wasn't that
goal.
something that you took at school though?
It's something that I kind of picked up at school. I never took. Well, I actually had one specified class for video editing, but it wasn't my favorite class. And then honestly, I just kind of saw things open up, and I was like, dude, I need something here. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then we happened to get together, and I was like, bro, this is like a perfect storm happening right
Right.
now. So video editing wasn't necessarily my number one thing. I kind of wanted to be on mic, but now I'm kind of like at that point where it's like, I'd like to be on mic a little bit, but not necessarily be like the main guy. You know what I mean? Because
Fact.
I feel like sometimes like I'll struggle with the flow. It's a lot easier when I'm bouncing off of people
Yep.
rather than being like, you know, Alex, like the main, you know what I mean? Like he hosts it, he leads the whole thing. I don't think I'd be able to do that. I think I'd be more like the color commentator type of person. But honestly, video editing, being behind the scenes, seeing it all happen and just kind of like building it together, like editing is like a puzzle, bro. And I just kind of like love doing that type of stuff.
Well, we see it too, and like I took classes on the multicam editing of like how these 3 cameras bounce back and forth, and it's fucking hard. So like it's just crazy how like we got like lucky just to find you, where it's like we can kind of do this side of it, and then we have somebody that's just like so like, oh yeah, this is fun for me. This is like the puzzle for me. So like it all works.
And I feel like there's no pressure. Like if you fuck up, no one knows but us. Like we know for like 2 seconds and it's fixed, but no one knows. Like us, if I say someone's fucking name wrong on here, like if I say Cam like Rogers or something, like it's like, all right, he's a fucking asshole. This is on
Dumbass.
YouTube for 5 years. Like,
Right.
That's a little give and take there, but nah, that's definitely, it's crazy. Like, because video editing is cool. Like people that haven't done it, like when you fuck around, like so like I do the clips, like
Right.
it's kind of fun, but I couldn't see myself doing it for like you got 6 hours of content for the Auburn video.
That was a
Like,
lot.
just
Probably more than that,
Yeah,
too,
I think
yeah.
a little more than that. Not
Just
gonna lie.
seeing that, like it takes a different kind of person to be like, yep, I'm gonna sit down here and make this a masterpiece. Like that's not for me, and I appreciate the hell out of you for doing that for us, bro. I fucking love you, seriously, bro.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it, honestly. And, you know, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. It wasn't my number one thing, but I have a good time doing it.
Yes, sir.
And we obviously know where we all want to be. So
Yes, sir.
That-
you know,
Yes, sir.
having the whole team where we
Going
wanna
to be.
is going to be right. So, all right, Manny. So take us to NFL, and then we'll wrap up
All
the
right, so
NBA.
I'll start with my biggest surprise, and I also go around and we'll go do biggest letdown in the back. Like,
Yeah.
So I was kind of having a tough time with this one. Like early on in the season, I'll say week 9, maybe week 8. I'm thinking like the Cowboys, 100%. Like I thought they were gonna be good, but not. They were looking like they were the real
This
deal.
is your letdown.
No, this is my biggest surprise.
Okay.
I'm getting into it. So I thought it was gonna be the Cowboys for a couple weeks now. Then they started faltering off. Then next thing you know, fucking New England's winning 6 straight, averaging 35 points on offense, only allowing 10 points. Mac Jones was like the runaway offensive rookie of the year, possibly one of the best quarterbacks in the AFC right now. They're the best team in the AFC right now. That's by far my biggest surprise. And they got rid of Stephon Gilmore this year. Bill Belichick continually does these things, right, where he trades away a key player. And you think, oh, here they go. Like, all right, they're going to kind of give up this year. They'll be fine going 5, 6 losses, maybe 7 losses, and rebuild for the next year. And they're still the same old Patriots. Like, they skipped the beat for what, a year or two there? With Cam and them, just a quick year or two, they skipped the beat. And they're right back to the same old Patriots. That's my big surprise. Like, I didn't think they'd be this good. Nowhere near. Like, you understand, okay, they're going to play ball control football. Yes, they have some running backs. They don't have a lot of weapons. They have some guys that can get, I mean, Kendrick Bourne's nice. Jacoby Myers is nice. Like, they're not top guys. And it's like Mac Jones. Like, for them to be the top of the AFC in Week 12, that's by far my biggest surprise. I never thought they would be there. Hats off to the organization. I fucking hate them. I mean, I got my ring on them, but so it's all good now. But I mean, that's by far my biggest surprise this year.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna go with the Patriots too. Like, I was just gonna, because like, who's not in that like sense is like, who's
Yeah,
not
I felt
gonna
like a
take
broken
that,
record
you know
kind
what
of
I mean?
saying that.
But yeah, I mean, when the Patriots coming off like a 6-game win streak, obviously this is not gonna matter that we're saying this because it's gonna get posted later. But
Probably 7 by the time they play the Bills Monday night.
that's what I'm saying. So they're gonna be playing the Bills, and divisional matchup. So like I said, you haven't seen that yet, but any divisional matchup after, I saw a TikTok on it. Any divisional matchup after Week 10, hammer the under.
Wow.
Because it's just it's a lot more serious. So in the weeks 11 and 12 combined 7 and 2. It hits.
Just
Weird.
can't be
Calling
too
that
loud
as
with
well.
it. They're gonna start bumping the lines down.
Yeah, gotta be quiet. So I'm taking that one. But it's funny how you mentioned the Patriots and they're playing the Bills on Monday night because that's my biggest letdown is the Buffalo Bills. Josh
fuck it,
Allen.
get into that.
Josh Allen has just been so.
Because they start off the year like fucking wonder kids. They lose the first game, and then they've had all 3 or 4 straight.
Bro,
and we're
he's like a
oh,
stock.
here.
He's like a stock. You hear me, Josh? He's like a stock. He just goes up and down like this. You know
But
what I
even
mean?
like you said, like last year, the picture of Stephon Diggs after losing the AFC Championship, it's like, okay, next year they're gonna be those guys, and you kind of see it for a little bit, and then they fucking just shit the bed.
And the biggest thing I said with the Bills is like they just need a solid pound for pound running back.
That's
they
true.
just don't have that. Zach Moss is not the guy. Singletary's not the guy.
That's true.
They need a pound for pound guy like Jonathan Taylor. And I was gonna say that they were like my biggest surprise, but it's not. And obviously like Stephon Diggs has just been so inconsistent, and that's just probably part of the reason is Josh Allen. My biggest surprise is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
And that's just Joe Burrow and the boys. Were you gonna go there?
You know,
Motherfucker!
That team is
I was gonna
criminally
say the
underrated.
Patriots, and I was like, all right, you said Patriots, like Bengals. I'll go with the Bengals. This guy said, I'm like, you fucking joking, bro. This is some bullshit.
I actually thought this was going to be one that not many people would think. They're 7-4 after 11 games into the season. Joe Burrow is just leading the offense like he did when he was in college at LSU, and he's
That
got his
defense
guy
even,
at
bro.
Jamar Chase. And Joe Mixon in these past 2 weeks is over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns and
That defense
I
doesn't
think
get the credit
back-to-back
it deserves
games.
either, bro.
And that's the biggest part of that team is the Bengals defense. They're just not getting a lot of credit. I love this team. I think this is a team that could really win that division.
I mean, I was gonna say like based off what we see from the Ravens down the stretch.
Well, also,
I mean, we love
based
Lamar. We
off-
love Lamar Jackson, but knowing that he can literally win you the division or lose you the division within 60 minutes, like
Crazy.
the Bengals are right there.
Also putting up 41 against the Steelers in the divisional matchup.
Yep.
Like that's
like it was nothing.
So
Like,
I think-
Joe Burrow did no work. That
So
game.
it's Bengals for me as my biggest surprise, and the Bills are my biggest letdown. And like I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna say like the Bills should be your biggest letdown, but I mean, we saw the clips of Stephon Diggs after losing to the Chiefs, standing like out there watching them get their banner and getting their their AFC Championship trophy held up, and he's like, I can't let this happen again. And then you just come out for like 3 or 4 good games and then just show out flat.
Facts.
So it's just shocking to me. But it's Bills and Bengals for me. What do you got?
I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna add much on it because you said the Patriots. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go with Patriots. Mac Jones, he's a dude. Like he's not a very mobile quarterback, but it doesn't
Right.
really matter. He's
And that's
just
what
getting
Bill
it
likes,
done.
though,
Yeah,
too.
exactly. So I was gonna say them, and then I was gonna go with the Bengals because, first of all, one of my favorite players going into the season was Jamar Chase. I predicted that he'd have a better season.
I know,
than
I saw
Justin
that clip.
Jefferson. Yeah, I predicted he'd have a better season than Justin Jefferson, rookie season than Justin Jefferson. Started off pretty hot. He's kind of simmered down a little bit. He's still doing really well. I thought at the beginning, clear favorite for offensive player of the year. Now we're seeing what the Patriots are doing is probably going to be Mac Jones. So
And T. Higgins is kind of taking some
T.
of the
Higgins, yeah,
receptions away from
he's
him
looking
too.
really good.
Facts.
Last game he had a monster game.
Well, T. Higgins is the main benefactor of Jamar Chase being so good through
Yup.
6 weeks. It's like, all right, well, my time's coming soon. Fuck it. Like,
Yeah, exactly. So when you have someone like Jamar Chase who's just going to get you that 87-yard touchdown,
Exactly.
they're going to start to shadow him a little more, put double on him. So T. Higgins is definitely someone who's going to benefit off of that. But so I won't go too much into because you guys picked that my biggest surprise. I would go into my biggest letdown, which injuries involved and everything. I'm gonna have to go with the Seahawks, honestly, because
That's actually like slept on. Like I don't know why we
Facts.
didn't go there.
I think we all expected that division to be power out. Kyle
Yep.
Shanahan and the 49ers. Like, let's see what he can do with a fully healthy team this year.
Right.
I mean, they still keep getting injuries now, but
Yeah.
Right.
and then the Rams, bro, they've just dropped 3 in a row, and it's looking.
Robert Woods was the most important player to that
It's
team.
looking like it. I mean, the thing about Robert Woods is he was that down the middle type of you're
Yep.
gonna hit him in the middle of the field and he's gonna burst out, give you a bunch of yards, or we're gonna run those jet sweeps with him, and he was just that Swiss Army
He's a
knife.
leader.
He
He's
was-
been there.
I
yes.
like that
He
analogy
blocked.
too. The
Swiss Army knife, bro.
too.
Fucking runs balls out of the backfield. Like, so valuable.
And
player.
the Cardinals as well. Like
Yep.
Kyler's hasn't been playing. They've had some scrappy wins from
Yeah,
Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy,
but
bro. I can't believe it, but yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with the Seahawks. I mean, Russell Wilson. That you feel like that guy can do anything. Breaking his finger, bro. That really hurt them, but he came back. I expected them to have a bounce back win against this Washington football team this week, and we didn't see that. So honestly, I I don't see them doing much more than what they're at right now. So I'm gonna have to go with the Seahawks as my biggest letdown.
Also the Seahawks too, as we have some planes on it. Like
Yeah,
I think
hello.
That's gonna
I mean,
be a bitch and
I-
a half when I'm
It's
editing.
good.
But honestly, like I think you leave it though because I think it's just
It's
like
just add. It's a nice little
it's
add-on.
like a little.
It's a nice night.
natural sound. What do they
Sun's
say at
coming
ABC?
down.
Nat sound.
Nat
That's
sound,
what they
bro.
say.
Nat sound.
But I think the Seahawks after, and this is again, we're recording this on a Tuesday, I should say evening, but it's like late night over in the East Coast, as I'm going to continue saying that this week. But the football team beat the Seahawks last night in a game, Monday night, in a game where the Seahawks
Needed to
almost a
win.
must win.
It was a must-win for both
Yeah.
teams.
I thought that was
needed to
totally going to happen and totally doable, but that just shows to your point that the Seahawks probably might be like one of the biggest letdowns of
Absolutely.
the season. You have Russ come back and then you get shut out by Green Bay. And that was like I think it was Russ's like first time being shut out. Next game comes out, you get 0 passing touchdowns. And then this game comes up, you throw for 250 and 2, but I mean, your team still didn't win against a really scrappy football team that hasn't been playing that good of football, and you predicted them to be really good because of that defense, and I was totally in all agreement. So
I thought this was.
We finally see that defense playing how they were supposed to play. I mean, they gave up 19 points to the Bucks. They straight up won next week versus Carolina. I think they gave up 7 or I think
Yes,
they
sir.
almost blanked them. Then they last night they give up 15 points and that was on the last second touchdown. Like finally the football team's playing how we thought they're going to play, and it took them losing Montez Sweat and Chase Young to play that way. Just the league is just a fucking confusing ass league. You'll never get a grasp from that motherfucker. My biggest letdown though, it's weird. Like, so going into the season, I didn't think this team would be. I thought they'd be decent. I didn't think they'd be that good, but it's the Cowboys. So you look at week 1, they play the Bucks. They should win that game. Then they raise the alarm. Everyone like, okay, they're legit this year. They have depth, 4 dangerous wide receivers, 2 maybe the best running backs besides, 2 of the top running backs in the division possibly. Dak Prescott's doing this thing. The defense is coming along finally. Trayvon Diggs is looking like Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons, excuse me. Like, okay, Cowboys, finally, every year we hear about you being so good, it's like this is finally the year. And through, like I was saying, I almost made it my biggest surprise through 9 weeks because it's like, the Cowboys are finally here. Like, they're getting tough wins in SoFi versus the Chargers. They're hanging with the Bucks going down to the last play, having a Brady game-winning drive. You'd never see this. The Cowboys are a team that they do shout out in the regular season and choke in the playoffs, but I don't know, me personally, I got a different feel. Like, it just seemed like a different Cowboys team, more deeper than we thought. But ended up being alive because the injury too happens, and we just find we have absolutely no depth in our second and third team guys. Like, we just don't have any past the first 52, which is, it's cool, but it gets exposed later in the season as you see now. But I thought personally that's a 14-win, 13-win team like through 3 weeks, and
we knew that just because of their offense being so powerful.
the way, but and then had the guys stepping up on defense. Like, that was the main question mark, and they're answering questions. They're scoring defensive touchdowns. They're leading the league in turnovers through 5-6 weeks. So I was like, okay, the Cowboys, it's finally time to go. And then we just falter off, and I don't see them saving it at all. Mike McCarthy has COVID. 8 people have COVID this week.
He's not coaching that
They
Thursday
could
night
very
game.
easily drop this Thursday night game to the Saints. If not, they don't have the easiest strength of schedule down the stretch. I think they have a tough game versus the Eagles in the last game of the season where we're going to be giving everything. They might be tired down the stretch. That's probably another loss. Like, they probably limp into the playoffs and lose in the first round to a very deep NFC at the top. Going through 5 weeks, if you were to tell me that the Dallas Cowboys were losing the first week, I'd be like, probably they're choke artists, but I would be surprised, personally. If they were limping to the playoffs and lose the first week, I would be surprised. And that's my biggest surprise so far.
Well, you brought up Micah Parsons too, and I
The
don't know
biggest letdown.
I don't know if you guys saw what Micah Parsons said for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So he told his team, there was like a quote from him, and he told his team, like, if you guys don't have anywhere to eat, and your wives don't feel like cooking, then come to my house. My mom always cooks for like 100 people. So I thought, like, as a rookie, being able to like take that leadership role,
Yep.
create that chemistry on the defense, as well as he's already played so far this season, is really crucial for himself as a player to develop and that defense as a whole. So I thought that was something just to point out, because like you don't really see many rookies doing that.
No, big fact.
And you gotta like that.
And
That's Penn State guy for you,
That's
buddy.
just like a quarterback. Like, you never really see that. Yeah,
sure.
he's showing out. Shock Tony got his first sack last night for the football team. Let's fucking go, Penn State alums. But we're not getting to that special. That was my biggest letdown. I said surprise.
That's right.
Letdown. It's biggest letdown.
All right, baby. Let's head to NBA. We'll wrap this up. So we're gonna do.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
So when it comes to the number 1 player in the world, guys, like, yes, I understand.
Are you gonna stick with like who you've stuck with forever?
Yes, I think
The guy who's sick right now.
at times some people come through and they have these very hot stretches and they hit some crazy shots, maybe some game winners. They put up 40, 11 threes. I understand it. But there's a man, not LeBron James, 6'11", he's averaging 28 points on 10 field goals made. Got to add a couple threes in there for that at an efficient rate. probably on pace for another 50-49 season, leading the Nets to another top seed in the East without Kyrie, all the distractions going on there, playing very efficient, quiet, Durant-style basketball. That's my number one player in the world right now. I don't think he's ever had a season besides maybe the MVP year where it's been like, no, Durant's the guy. Like, he's the best player in the world. Yes, this guy's going off for this month, and this guy's going off
We knew too.
for this 19-game stretch. But I think when it comes down, when we look back at this at the end of the season, the guy who was the most consistent, most efficient, best player in the NBA all year, it will be Kevin Durant. And I just need you guys to convince me why it would be
It's
Steph
fine.
Curry.
I mean, it's been stated, right, that he's the best scorer of all time.
Right.
So, right,
But
we
he's
know
doing
that.
more now. Assist, rebound. You're seeing more double-doubles
So,
from Kevin Durant than you've
I'll
ever
take it
seen
this way. I'll take it this way. We're both going to be on Steph Curry, and that's fine because I've been backing the Warriors. And when we did our NBA predictions, I took the Warriors. The best shooter of all time. Steph Curry, the stat that came out the other night, he's the first player in NBA history to reach 100 3-point field goals made in 20 games or less, and he had 19 games. Took him 19 games to get to 100.
His 3-point lines are set at 5.5.
What,
They are set at
bro?
5.5.
These lines should be at 1.5 and 2.5 for guys that don't understand that. He's at like
5.5.
getting 5.5, 6.5 a game. Like,
And he hits it, bro.
and he hits it. And so he's getting like 8 or 9 a game. So you can say he's the best shooter of all time. He's also starting to drive, and I love how hard he's hitting these fucking. He's like
At
he's gotta
33
say,
years old.
Meet me at the rack. Meet me at the rack.
Doesn't
He's
look-
getting those
doesn't-
hard
doesn't look a
technicals.
day.
He's yelling. He's screaming. I love the tenacity from this guy, and,
Yep.
and for a team that's 18-2, as these plays.
Oh, yeah. 17-2. I have money on the Suns tonight. They'll be
17-2,
they'll be-
18-2 Suns.
They'll be
Hey,
17.
18-2
They'll
after the
be
Suns today.
17-3 after the Suns win a cash money line bet. But continue.
So the last time that they had a record this good was their at like in just shy of 20 games.
Undefeated
was,
season, right?
Was their 20-0 start to the season.
That's just so dumb.
So
was
like
ridiculous,
you have
bro.
Steph doing this, you have the team doing this, and hold on, guys, where's Clay?
Yep.
He's not there yet. He's not there yet. It's the Warriors all day for me.
I
but
mean,
it's
you
still
could
Steph Curry
even
all
say
day.
like he's even carrying more of a load because Draymond's not who Draymond used to be.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I don't really see a difference between this Steph and
honestly-
2015, 2016 Steph. There's a difference, but as far as like me being able to break guys off, get to the rim, lay it up, take
Bro.
a foul and one hard foul, get up and be cool, still play hard the whole game, play defense.
As dumb
Like,
as this sounds, and you may think I'm dumb for this, I honestly think that like Steph and Durant are almost like playing the same role because like
That's what I'm saying.
the guys around them, like you said for the Draymond point, they haven't produced, and then like James Harden, he's not playing
Producing-
the best of his.
Patty Mills is their second best player.
You know what I mean? So like they're in the same role.
That's fucking crazy, bro. That's fucking
I mean, you're gonna
crazy.
hear what you have to say, Tyler.
That's crazy to say, but I mean that's just showing love to Patty Mills low key, but he's not the second best player. But I just think with my fault, Tyler. I just
No,
think,
you're good, bro. Don't worry.
I think with Steph, it's just like right now he get the argument because he has to do so much right now. I don't think he's gonna have to do all this the whole year. I could be wrong. His numbers could spike when Clay comes back. I mean, Clay comes back. That's what 1, 2 more assists, 3 assists a game. He's already averaging 6. He's averaging more rebounds than he ever has in his career. Steal or 2 in there. Like, yeah, there's a strong case. I just don't think he can sustain it. Tyler, go ahead. My fault. But I just don't think
No,
he
you're
can
good.
sustain it.
I actually would like to point out you're talking about how Steph is driving the ball a lot more now. The Warriors are top 5 team with the points like finishing in the paint right now, which
I
is
love
No,
Which is
surprising,
no James Wiseman either. They're top 5 in point.
Yeah, no James Wiseman,
That's
no Klay Thompson. I think one of the big things that I want to bring up is a lot of flack that Curry would get was he can't lead a team. He needs to be like on a really good team. You know what I mean? Which is interesting to me because I mean, you say he had a super team with KD and he had a freaking amazing team with the 72-9 Warriors and he built that team basically. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Everything was built around him, but everyone was saying even last year when they got off to a really rough start, it was like, oh, Steph can't lead a team. And dude, what do we see right now? He's leading a team with Jordan Poole, with Draymond Green, with freaking Andrew Wiggins. There's no James Wiseman in, no Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson been out for 2 years now, basically.
You know what? I hate that claim too because if you remember his coming out party at MSG in 2015 where he dropped 50, Klay Thompson wasn't Klay Thompson yet. Draymond wasn't Draymond yet. They just lost Monte Ellis. They thought the team was dead in the water. They thought he couldn't take over that
Monte
role.
Ellis, bro, that's a name
They just
I've
lost him. I'm pretty sure the year
bro.
before that. And they lost that year in the playoffs. He lost to I want to say the Spurs in the Western Conference semifinals in I think 6 games. And he was still going off. That's like an infamous clip where he hit the half spin. Fucking Tony Parker I think stumbled or fell and he hit the 3. Like he was leading that team. I've never discredited the fact that he could lead a team. I think that's wild that people do that.
I hate
think
that
it's
argument. I hate when
wildly
I see
disrespectful.
that.
If you look at the first championship they won versus Cleveland, they're down 2-1. that team's amazing, but they're down 2-1, and Steph is going off. Like, he was getting strapped, for anyone who was saying that, by Dellavedova. Like, Dellavedova was just playing hard defense.
He was getting
Dellavedova owns
strapped.
Curry.
He was playing hard defense on him, but he in my opinion, he led that team. I mean, Iggy got MVP. Come on,
I'll be
committee.
honest.
Come on,
That Finals
committee.
MVP pisses me off.
Come
by the
on,
way.
committee. And that's a stain on his career that people will use forever. But
Yep.
I understand the argument. I just don't think it's as sustainable as KD will be because I don't see James. I mean, James literally ate In-N-Out. Shout out In-N-Out because we were just there. Ate In-N-Out and drank Mickey's his way out of Houston and doesn't seem to ever have to get back in shape. I mean, it is. If you were to tell me 2 years ago, a year ago, it would be a struggle for me. Like if I want to bet James Harden to score 20 points, I'd be like, I'd say you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
It's scary to take him for 15 points. Like what is this Harden? So for KD doing that, he's rebounding the ball more. I think it's more sustainable. We'll see at the end of the year, though. I think the way things go with the Warriors' record, if they can hold that as well, because that's a big piece in the argument. Steph probably will end up getting MVP, but I'm going to die on the hill of Durant to finally being
Die on the hill, baby.
undisputed.
Wait,
number
so
one
we
player in the
haven't
world.
touched on like who are your teams? I know it's getting dark. We're gonna wrap
Yeah,
this up,
facts.
but who are your teams like being out here? Because I see, is that a Lakers hats? Are you a Lakers?
Oh yeah,
guy?
bro. I'm wearing my my City Blue edition
Yes,
Lakers
sir.
hat jersey.
So are you a Lakers guy or are you a Warriors guy?
Oh
Who's your
no, I'm
football
not.
team?
I'm not a Warriors guy.
Chargers guy?
No, fuck Chargers. No, I was kidding. So I'm a huge Lakers fan. Love the
Okay.
Lakers my whole life. Kobe Bryant, my favorite player of all time. Obviously, he's
That's so cool to like hear like you being like grown up
A Lakers
being
fan.
a Lakers fan.
Yep.
Like I think that's the coolest thing ever. 'Cause
Yep.
There's a lot of guys that would like grow up
I'm
and
a
just
Lakers
like
fan.
bandwagon Lakers fan. So it's really cool meeting somebody that like has
Nah.
grown up a Lakers fan.
Yeah, I mean, growing up a Lakers fan, Kobe's my goat. Not, you know what I mean? Like he's
Oh, yeah,
he's
sure,
my goat.
I
He's my
believe
great.
it.
I love fucking Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace to the late great Kobe. But yeah, Lakers, Dodgers, Rams. Rams been disappointing.
The
me lately.
Rams.
Lakers also been kind of disappointing me too lately.
What is going on there?
Where?
Was Robert Woods really Allah in LA? Like we had Jalen Ramsey. We had the best defensive tackle, possibly the best defensive
got Von
player
Miller.
of all time. Von Miller,
Leonard Floyd.
Matt
Honestly,
Stafford. Henderson's not bad.
Matt Stafford's
Cooper
not good.
Kupp's over there. We brought in Odell. At a point this year, I said listen, this was out of pocket, but I said Tyler Higbee was a top 5 tight end in the league. He's a good tight end. He's not top 5. He's not
he's a good tight
He
end.
might be top 10. But what is going? Are we dead in the water? Can we expect a Rams comeback? Like, what do you see as a fan every day hearing these radio stations and all that shit? What do you think's gonna happen with the Rams?
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I listen to ESPN 710, which is they talk about the Rams, Lakers, and I feel like every time I'm listening to them, it's like, oh, Rams disappointed me. Oh, Lakers disappointed me. I'm
Yep.
like, bro, this is some depressing radio that I'm listening
All the
to.
time.
Hey, can't be much worse than Philly. I gotta tell you right now. It cannot be much worse than Philly.
97.5 The Fanatic is just as good over there in Philadelphia.
But no, I don't think the Rams are dead yet. Matt Stafford is really concerning me right now. He's turning the ball over at an alarming rate. Now, he's had a few turnovers that I'm like, all right, like Higbee, one right through his hands. That 49ers game when we had like 2 back-to-back turnovers. that
Okay,
absolutely
but he has the
killed
one
me.
where he's spinning around the end zone. He throws it
Yes.
with his like.
No, exactly. That's what I was about to get to. Is
Okay.
like I said, he's had alarming turnovers. That spinning. I saw that and I was like, dude, what the?
He saw
fuck?
Carson Wentz and
Yeah.
got inspired. He
Yeah.
said, I can pull it off, motherfucker. I'm gonna do it the right way.
So I mean, I don't want to say we're dead out of the water yet. We got Jacksonville this week, which
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say this is a guaranteed win, but we saw the Bills not too long ago drop a game to them.
Yeah.
We have a tough schedule coming up. We
Okay.
got. I mean, the Seahawks, Russell Wilson, you would expect them maybe to bounce
might
back
get one,
soon.
though, yeah.
Yeah, so we got them coming up. We got the Cardinals.
Cardinals. My cards.
Kyler Murray's
My
coming
cards.
back. I fucking love Kyler Murray.
My
I
cards.
try to draft him every year in my fantasy because dude's mobile.
Wait, yeah, he gets a lot of the points on the ground
Yep.
as well.
Yeah, so I mean, we got the Cardinals you just expect them to get better. They're still 9-2 after missing Kyler for what, like 3 or 4 weeks with an ankle injury.
Colt McCoy came in and looked 26 years old.
Of course he did, bro.
Yeah, and then we
Next man up.
still got the 49ers coming up, which Kyle Shanahan
That's not an
just
easy beat.
absolutely owns us and Sean McVay.
Yep.
I feel like every time we play him, we just get blown out of the water by them. We just can't beat the 49ers. I still have confidence, but am I nervous? Yes. I still say we come out. I give the Rams 10
I
wins
mean,
this season.
if you guys don't win this division, it's looking like it's going to be a scenario where we have a wild card game,
and we could lose the first week.
and then, or if we win that game, and probably a dogfight because the way the NFC playoffs is going to turn out, it's going to be fucking.
It's gonna be insane, bro.
It's going to be crazy. We limp out of that game, then we probably go into Lambeau, or we go down to Tampa Bay.
It's like, dude, we got to play
It went
either
from
the
like
GOAT,
this is a
Brady, or
first, this
Rodgers.
is a first seed team. Like when we saw them thrash, now they didn't really thrash them, but they beat the shit out of the Bucks. Saw that, we're like, okay, first seed, bye. We're in SoFi, all the playoffs. Like, oh, let's fucking go. Yeah, and now we're gonna be going to Lambeau, going
Even
to Tampa.
in-
It could be over early.
Yeah, bro. I mean, even in not too long ago, like five or so, 6 weeks ago, you guys were talking about in the NFL reactions video. Are the Rams they're the clear favorite? Number one.
I wasn't
And
trying.
then they got the additions of Von Miller and Odell Beckham, and then
It's like okay,
Yeah.
because that was pre-Robert Woods. That happened in the next practice on Monday, which is like
Yep.
this.
That was tough.
We were talking
Bobby
about Cooper Kupp, Robert
Tuesday.
Woods, and I was like, I think Robert Woods is more important than Cooper Kupp, or better, I think it
right.
was. I don't know if that's the case, but he might be more important. But that's just like the Rams. They deserved like Jared Goff he ruined a lot of really great teams. He ruined a lot of really great teams. Now, the one time you guys made the Super Bowl, you guys deserve to be there. No change, you guys deserve to be there. But I just think that Super Bowl performance, it just showed like this, he can't be our quarterback for the long haul. I feel like that would be equating to having Jalen Hurts around a fucking monster team, and then when we need him like a Super Bowl, NFC Championship, and we need him
Our
to really
defense
step up.
was fucking elite.
Elite.
Too, bro. We were fucking elite. That's why we were in the.
Brandon
That's why we were in the
Staley-
Super
That's
Bowl.
why
bro.
you're
That was
there.
Staley's defense.
Exactly.
That was Staley's
Exactly.
defense.
Yep.
That and it's like he just wasn't that. He wasn't. You guys were always like, we need that guy at quarterback. We get that guy at quarterback, and he's spinning around, pirouetting, shaking hands with his old teammates, fucking losing 3 straight. Like it's like they don't deserve this. They don't. Like I was going to love to see a top team in LA. We'll get it soon. Hopefully, get it together. But like, fuck, man.
Yeah, dude, it is super cool to like hear somebody who's like loyal to their fan base in Los Angeles, because obviously like you would never beat somebody.
it's a
like
breath
that,
of fresh
right?
air, bro. It's a
It
breath
is.
of fresh air.
I
It's
love my
not-
LA teams.
Because
When
like
I
you
tell-
actually storm the street, like people back home, like fans of LA teams, fans of Dodgers, like you don't go to the parade,
Right.
you don't leave the bar and like go Rams or you go
Oh, yeah.
Lakers, like you
Well,
like,
you
it's not
did
the
say,
same.
you know, it is a breath of fresh air, but it certainly is not
with all this fucking
a
smog.
a breath of fresh air here in Los Angeles.
That's all they've been talking about.
That's all they've
Smog
been
in
talking
LA,
about.
baby.
But guys, we're gonna be cutting this one. I know it's a little on the shorter side. It's dark out here for us, and we were a little bit short on the outlets to get the lights. So bear with us on that front. But we hope you enjoyed this one. If you want to check us out on the Twitter page, head over to @80ED Podcast on Twitter and @80ED Pod on Instagram. The TikTok is simply the name of the show, and we are going to be going live on Twitch when we return home from Los Angeles. We probably won't be going anywhere until maybe February or March. Not
see.
leaking anything.
Hey, but I'll be coming out to you guys.
We'll see.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
Tyler might be coming out to us in the next couple weeks. So I'm not leaking too much. I
Nah,
do too
not at all.
much of that
You get
bullshit on
excited
this show.
sometimes.
I get way
You
too excited.
sometimes.
But other than that, man, the Facebook. I haven't been chatting on the Facebook page.
Show the Facebook
But the Twitch is simply it's just all day everyday show. There is no the. We haven't streamed in a while, so
Hey,
we're looking
make
forward to
sure
getting.
you guys
on
haven't,
that, right?
If you're not in it, 53 members in the Chalkboard community. Yo, join up. We talk some bets.
Yeah.
Chill, talk some
You can
shit.
hit the link tree in the bios of
It's
both.
absolutely free. I
It's-
mean, if that's
it's
been a
the
barrier to entry
first-
for you,
First link on top of the link tree is Chalkboard. You guys can communicate with us directly on there, and we can talk about all the bets that's going on that you guys want to bet on. You can see what we pick on, all our content. You
great
get our
minds in
content
there.
exclusively,
Facts.
sometimes before we even release it. So if you want to be a part of that
Hey, now.
exclusive club, then join the Chalkboard and join the community.
yeah, we should have been
Talk
throwing.
about the YouTube.
We should have been
Fuck outta
throwing fucking Auburn clips in there as we were there. for
Yo, no
exclusive
cap.
help.
So we can get exclusive with that now, though.
yeah,
so
maybe
we are getting exclusive with it. Talk about the YouTube. We'll get the fuck out of here.
So if you did make it to the end of this video, we appreciate you so much. The only reason why we can do trips like this and come out here and do podcasts and content is because of all of you watching to the very end of this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because you already know there's content coming out multiple times a week. It's the All Day Everyday Show, boys. Join with Tyler McGee, long time coming. Signing off, boys. Let's go.
Thank you, fellas, and thank you, Tyler, bro. I love you so much.
Yes,
You know.
sir.
Hey guys, also that little 5-star rating on the bottom of Apple
It looks
Podcasts.
really good.
You can do that too as
Looks
well.
really
You know
good.
what it is, baby. You've been listening to the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and the homie Manny Ruffin. My name is Alex Jacobs. You can call me All Day AJ. We'll see you when we're home in Philly, I guess. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Watch that Auburn video.
Wait, no, but the reaction show might be.
I don't find out.